Hello and happy Fun Fact Friday, pet people of the social media universe. This is Shantae and I am coming at you with another Fun Fact Friday, this time about pugs. That's right, pugs. First and foremost, I have to apologize. I know that it is well after 12, but I was on a phenomenal leadership call with our leader and just this person that has really guided us all. He pours into us each and every day, and he is leading from the front. You guys, this opportunity is really changing my life for the better. I am learning skills. I am developing myself personally, and I owe it all to Navetica at the end of the day. So I could not leave the call. I'm apologizing for starting late, but I am not apologizing for staying on to the call. Okay, you guys, this call is why I am doing this right now. This is helping me to bring my dreams into fruition. It's helping me to provide this service to you all. It's helping me to speak better, to be more confident, and so much more. So thank you, Mr. Bangora, for the time, for everything that you have done. So with all of that being said, hello, welcome to Fun Fact Friday. We're going to talk about pugs today. All right. So pugs, and more pugs. Now, pugs are actually, believe it or not, from China. They date back all the way to China. Actually, the first time they were seen was like in the Ming Dynasty, all right, which was quite some time ago. So the Ming Dynasty in China is where they were originally bred. Now, one of the fun facts about the pug is that they were actually guarded by soldiers. They were heavily revered back in that time and were a member pretty much of the imperial court. So yeah, having them around was quite a pleasure, and it actually transitioned throughout the ages. In fact, they were brought to Europe back in the 16th century, and they were popularized in Western Europe. So back in the 19th century, Queen Victoria, which we're not all foreign to, a lot of us have heard of her, have seen documentaries, as recent documentaries actually, about Queen Victoria. I think there was even a movie about her. But she even developed a passion for them. So you'll see pugs in different pictures with royalty. And pretty much she popularized the breed for royal families and things of that nature. Now, the characteristics of the pug. They have this glossy coat, and it can be many different colors, believe it or not, but the most popular is fawn or black. One of the other areas that I didn't mention back in history that had pugs were Buddhist monks. Yeah, they actually were right there in their temples, in the monks' temples, right there with them. So that's another interesting piece. So a lot of it has to do with their personality or their temperament, which we'll get into a little bit later, okay? So they also, as a distinctive feature, they have this wrinkly, short-muzzled nose and this curled, which I call curly Q, this curly Q tail. That is the distinctive characteristics of the furry loved one, the pug. All right, so talking about their temperament, they're very sociable and gentle companions, okay? And the AKC has even deemed them as being even-tempered and charming. So they're these, mellow, pretty much dogs. They're really charming, really sociable. They don't have much highs or lows, and they're really charming. So they're great companions if you want an animal that is just steady as far as their emotional state is concerned. And it really goes well with families that have older individuals in the home. You don't want this erratic dog that's going to be out of nowhere just barking hysterically or just scratching and digging and all this stuff. They're pretty even-tempered. Not to say that they don't do those things, but they're pretty mellow. They're pretty chill. Shaka. That makes me want to say. So definitely social animal. And when we talk about pugs, a lot of people love them, especially they became a lot more popular as of late with Men in Black. One of the aliens, quote unquote, was in the body of a pug, or maybe the pug was the alien. I really am, battling with that. Maybe they're higher beings and are just here to keep us company, right? So one of the other things, so that's how they became popularized for the 20th century. All right, they kind of had this rebirth. They actually became a part of the AKC in 1888, which is quite some time ago. So they were recognized as a breed, and they became a part of the AKC in 1888. Now, let's talk about some of the health issues. So we love this breed. We see this breed. They're adorable. They're very charismatic. However, they do have quite a bit of health issues, okay? So one of the health issues that they have is called brachycephalic syndrome, which is a syndrome that affects all of the breeds. Now, the severity could be different, okay, but it affects all of them. And basically what it is, it's an airway obstructive syndrome. So we all know that pugs, they snore, they breathe pretty heavily, and it's all due to the fact that they have that short muzzled nose. They were bred to have that shorter nose, and sometimes their nose or their nares, these are nares, are very, very narrow, okay? So sometimes surgery may be required to open the nares a little more so that they can get more oxygen in to themselves. But overall, they have this brachycephalic syndrome, and it causes a lot of respiratory issues. Okay, so definitely if it's hot outside, even if it's warm outside, you want to make sure your pug is receiving enough air, because they can get overheated very quickly, and they already have those issues with their breathing, so they can actually have heat stroke pretty fast and frequently. All right. So another issue is that they are commonly born with heart disease, and they're actually many of them are predisposed to slow, irregular heartbeats. All right. And due to this slow, irregular heartbeat, they can actually collapse. They can have issues where, you know, they're not able to keep up with a certain pace. So when you're walking your pug, you want to be mindful, very mindful of not overexerting them. Okay, you want to make sure that you are really looking and being observant and seeing what they can actually tolerate. Now, to help with that irregular heartbeat, just like in humans, they can get a pacemaker. Now, you definitely want to consult with your veterinarian, see if there are any other measures, because that involves surgery and also restrictions as far as magnets and things of that are concerned. All right. So another area is that they can develop an irregular heartbeat due to just retching, which is like wanting to throw up and nothing is coming out, due to persistent coughing, or even and it can even be caused by that same brachycephalic syndrome. So you want to be mindful if they're doing any of these things. Maybe it would be in your best interest to take a class where you can learn about how to locate the heartbeat, what's the normal heartbeat pace versus any regular heartbeat pace for that specific breed, so that you will know when you actually need to take them to the vet versus a normal just exertion or elevated heart rate due to exercise. Okay, due to their small mouth, their teeth are fairly cramped. Okay, and they have a high propensity for dental disease due to that. So you definitely want to be taking into consideration their oral care. All right, pugs definitely need that extra attention to their oral hygiene. All right, now I know many of us are not into brushing our fur babies' mouths. This is something that really has come up, I would say, maybe over the last 10 years or so. Most of us, when we were raised to treat a dog less like a family member and more like an animal, where they would more fend for themselves. But now, as we have gotten more knowledgeable and realized just how directly correlated they are to us and their needs, how similar they are to ours, many of us have implemented teeth brushing. But for those of us who haven't, I highly recommend our water additive and our dental chew. And I picked up the small ones because pugs are fairly small, right? They're adorable and cute and pretty much handheld. So this acts as a mouthwash and this acts as a toothbrush. So this you just add to their water bowl. It looks green here, but of course it's going to dilute in the water bowl. So a pug is fairly small, so I would say about half a cup you would add to their water bowl. And when they drink it, the peppermint oil in here helps to get rid of that anaerobic bacteria in the mouth. And that's the bacteria that oxygen can help to mitigate, but because their mouths are small, or in small dogs in general, they have these smaller mouths, it's harder for that oxygen to get in there and mitigate those anaerobic bacteria. So this gets in there, it helps with that, and it helps to make their breath fresher, among other things. Okay, now this here is the dental chew, and the best thing about this is, if you notice, dogs don't take their time when they eat. You almost want to make the chew 100 different little pieces and have them eat it all at once so that it can hit all those teeth, but they don't do that, right? Even if you were to give them a piece at a time, they're going to chew it probably in that same back tooth and swallow it. When they swallow this, so when they chew it up, it does help to break the tartar and the plaque, but when they swallow it, it gets into their saliva. So now their saliva has agents as well that is being released onto the teeth and helping to continue to break down that plaque and that tartar, you guys. Absolutely phenomenal. My dog loves it. And the best thing about this is that it has spirulina, which is a superfood that I myself take on a regular basis because my other profession involves me going to a daycare. So because I love myself and my health, I definitely would take that shake each and every time I would go there to the daycare center, and I have not gotten sick from the toddlers and from the young ones around there. Okay, so definitely this helps to boost their immunity, that spirulina as well. So that's something that you can implement to help mitigate their chances of having serious dental issues, because that surgery to extract teeth or to fix teeth or to help fight against gingivitis and things like that is astronomical in price, okay? Especially if it's a lot that has to be done. So again, being proactive is better than being reactive, all right? So moving right along, so eye problems, this is another area. So because their eyes are so big, and you know, that's something that we fall in love with pugs. When we look at them, we see these big eyes looking back at us and it just melts your heart, right? Well, they have a lot of eye issues due to the size of their eyes. It can be easily scratched. They can have corneal issues due to those scratches, and believe it or not, it can be forced from their sockets. Many pet parents don't know this, but if they don't have an actual harness for their pug, when they put that leash around their neck, if they jerk just hard enough, it can actually cause those eyes to come out of their sockets. Now, no, it's not going to roll around on the floor. It's not going to be like cartoons or something rolling past forever and ever and ever. No, there are nerves and muscles that will fairly keep it in place, but I mean, it did get out of its socket, so damage is done. And the longer that damage is there, the higher the increase of them becoming blind in that eye. Okay, so definitely pet parents, when you have a pug, get a harness. All right, definitely get a harness so you're pulling their body and not pulling their neck, which can then accidentally pop their eye out. All right, it can also happen with rough play. So if you have children, or you have other dogs that maybe like a younger dog that just always wants to play and is always, you know, tackling your pug or whatever the case may be very mindful, because it doesn't take much for that eye to come out. All right, so definitely keep our baby's eyes intact. Now, one thing that I have noticed that has helped my baby's eyes is the multivitamin. Now, we talk about ligaments, we talked about muscles, things of that nature. So if it so happens that these accidents occur, a lot of times we want to provide our fur babies with something that can help possibly mitigate them having this issue of the eye popping out of the socket, right? By strengthening maybe the muscles, the ligaments, by taking a multivitamin. So this multivitamin here, it literally helps with the overall function of your fur baby, eyes included, okay? So it has vitamin A, which helps with skin, vitamin B, which helps with energy, vitamin C, which helps with immunity, vitamin D, and so much more is in here, and it can help overall just with the functioning of those different organs: kidney, brain, eyes, heart. A lot of different areas are helped with this multivitamin. I know my baby, he had grayness in his eyes. He was missing the couch. He was literally tripping up the stairs. And since I've been giving him this, oh my goodness, his eyes, the grayness has substantially subsided. And he is now landing successfully onto the couch, okay? And I'm not even talking about the darkening of his fur, his energy levels, or anything like that. That's just the eyes that were greatly benefited due to this multivitamin. So that would be another recommendation for the pugs, all right? As well as just the overall help with, you know, the heart issues that they come across, that brachiocephalic syndrome with the respiratory. I mean, this is something that they can take to help with their overall bodily function. So maybe helping to positively impact the lungs. Okay, so definitely that's a must-have for all ages of our fur babies. I mean, we take multivitamins, right? As much as we try to implement a balanced diet, but we are lacking sometimes, and this happens with our fur babies as well. This fills that gap. All right, so the next one is that they are orthopedically deformed. So in the breeding process, pugs are actually, their limbs and things of that nature are slightly deformed, and with that they actually suffer from a lot of bone and joint problems. Even their hips, their elbows, their knees can all be affected from this breeding, this predisposed breeding impairment, okay, within the breed. So again, one thing that I highly recommend is the hip and joint. Now, this right here, when I tell you, my fur baby, he's 14 years old, he's a toy poodle, he has that luxating patella on one of his legs, and he was slowing down quite a bit. I said he's 14. He's running around now like he is 4. I have a video on my feed. You guys feel free to check it out. You will see him literally wanting more playtime, but we just can't provide it to him because we are out of shape now. But this is fantastic, and it's all because of this. This has, yes, your glucosamine, your MSM, but it has a specialty ingredient, you guys, called pernicannulaculus, and it is 100 times more potent than omegas. Okay, so with that being said, it's human grade as well and organic. So when you think about having an impact on your fur baby, this is where it is with our products, because they are actually potent. They are human grade and they're made of quality, you guys. We have a video of a dachshund literally with his back area frozen, dragging his feet, and now he is walking after 3 weeks of being on this. Okay, I can definitely testify to this. My baby is on all of our products and he is doing dramatically well. So definitely implement that hip and joint formula for your pug, due to the predisposed nature of them having these issues with their joints and literally throughout their body with their joints. Again, being proactive is better than being reactive. All right, definitely implement these earlier so that you can help to mitigate or even eliminate the chances of these issues from arising. Now, the brachiocephalic syndrome is something they are born with. But again, if you can help maintain the integrity of those organs, then you are essentially helping to prolong their life. Hence the multivitamin. They are prone to having dental issues because of that crowding in their mouth. So again, be proactive. When they're young, start implementing the water additive and the dental chews so that you are mitigating those bacteria, that anaerobic bacteria and the plaque and tartar from building up and then costing you a fortune, and then also causing your fur baby to suffer later on. Just imagine having to lose many teeth and then having to think about different types of food because they can no longer chew. The quality of their life is then diminished as well. Okay, so be proactive in their care. And then when it talks about their hips and joints, we know that we have a hip and joint formula that works wonders, you guys. So absolutely love the pug from China. Was heavily revered, members of the royal family, guarded by soldiers. I mean, this little thing had a huge history, right? Definitely resurgence with Men in Black. Everybody had a pug after that. And now you know, as a pet owner, definitely get that harness if you have them on a leash. And always be mindful of anything that can possibly scratch their eye or cause their eye to pop out. You guys, it is easier said than done, okay? What should I say? It's fairly easy for these pugs to have their eyes come out of their sockets. Unfortunately, a lot of people think that, oh, you know, that's a precaution. It's something that probably rarely happens, but actually it happens quite a bit with our pugs. All right. So definitely think about that. Think about who is around them, what they're doing. And when I say who, I'm talking about dogs, I'm talking about cats, I'm talking about young children, I'm talking about older people as well, because not everybody knows how to handle a pug. All right. So with that being said, we are done with our Fun Fact Friday for today. Definitely, this is a fun breed to have as a companion. They are sociable, they are friendly, they're charismatic. So they are great additions to the household overall. All right. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys on Monday or Tuesday for Testimonial Tuesday, Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, and then on Friday for Fun Fact Friday. You guys, I got this information from our app, and it will be coming out soon. So you guys will have this information at your fingertips among many other features and benefits for free. So if you are interested in getting your hands on our app, definitely DM me and say app, and I will put you on the list. Videos, call, will, me, please fast. I am not hello, my name so I will definitely start thinking about using closed captions. Let's see, maybe we can communicate via video later. So DM me. I'm rusty. I'm definitely rusty. So, be slow. I need to be, patient. Be patient with me, all right? But definitely thank you for posting that you are deaf. And we will continue to converse, all right? All right, everyone. So if you have a breed in particular that you want to have some facts about, DM me and let me know what that breed is. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy providing education to you all because it takes a community. All right. So with that being said, pet people of the social media universe, I will see you next time. You guys have a good one.